And most of all of these come back to entertainment. That's why people watch streamers. They want entertainment. They want, even if it's something like gaming news. Yeah, they're being informed, but they're also there to be entertained. So that's something that we always need to think about. How are we being entertaining? No matter what we do, we want to make sure that we stay entertaining. So what you're going to need to get started as a streamer is you're going to need a plan. You're going to need the right gear. Notice I say the right gear, not the best gear, the right gear. Everybody starts somewhere, and a lot of times you'll get in these situations where these streamers are saying, oh, well, you need this and you need that, and this is $200 and this is $400, and you can really get started for a lot less than that. You're going to need the right mindset, and you're going to need the right branding. Both of those things are going to play into how much and how quickly you will grow. So we're going to start off with talking about the plan and what it means to have that. So making your plan. What is your stream? Understand the kind of streamer you want to be. That's going back to what I talked about when there are multiple forms of streamers. You need to understand what niche audience you want to reach out to, what you want to be as a streamer. You need to understand that audience and what they're coming to you for. Because some people, they're just like, oh, I want to start streaming this, so I'm going to do that. Well, cool, that's fine, but as you start growing, you're going to have people that are like, oh, I'm coming because I want to see this. I'm coming because I want to see this. And you need to cater to that audience if you want to keep them. And then you also need to understand your schedule. All of us are Full Sail students. We have pretty crazy schedules. And to keep that kind of in mind, you need to keep your audience updated with your streaming schedules. Maybe that means you get to stream once a week some months. Maybe it means you get to stream 4 nights some months. It really all depends on your schedule. So you need to understand that, and you need to keep your audience up to date with that. Oh, already did. Gear. Now we're going to kind of talk into some of the gear that you will need or is strongly recommended as you go to start. So 3 things that you will need. A form of capture. Maybe that's a capture card. Maybe that's you're just running OBS and you're doing browser capture. Either way, you're going to need some form of media capture on your computer so you can actually get that gameplay to broadcast it. A ready computer. Computers, they're expensive. And this is the one part where I kind of contradict myself because I said streamers are like, oh, you need this, you need this, you need this. You do need a decently powerful computer to stream. Without it, your stream will be, it'll be jittery, it'll be a lower resolution, and it'll just all around be a bad time. And then peripherals. That falls into the categories of everything from, say, an extra monitor, a nice keyboard, a nice mouse, anything that you could be using during these long gaming binges when you're behind the camera. Computer-wise, these are the specs that I personally would recommend. This is obviously the lower, you could probably go a little below this, but this is what I recommend for having a good 1080p quality stream at 60 frames. You're going to want an Intel i5 series, at least 4670, or the AMD equivalent, depending on which chipset you're running. At least 8 gigabytes of RAM. Graphics card strong enough to stream both the game and the stream. Because when you stream off of a PC, if I'm not using a capture card and doing dual PC streaming, I have to have a graphics card strong enough that can run my game and the stream at the same time. And that's where things get a little expensive on that end. And then internet-wise, you want at least 50 down, at least 5 up. Some people will say you can get away with streaming at 3 up, but it's just, it gets jittery, it's not clean, it's not smooth. And if you're looking for a good stream experience, you're going to want to be somewhere around the 5 and up range. Now, forms of capture. Just by show of hands, who in here is familiar with OBS? Awesome. A lot of you are familiar, but for those of you that aren't, what OBS is Open Broadcast System. It is a software put out by Elgato, and what it is it's an application you open up on your computer, and you're able to control scenes, items, elements, audio, just everything that you'd want to be put on your stream. You're able to put in your overlay, and you can run different media sources. So really, it's like the production center of your stream. XSplit is a very similar thing. And then Elgato, it's by the same people that make OBS. And what that is that's the native software they prefer you to use if you're using their capture card, because it's where you can do a bunch of recording, editing, and whatnot through their software on that. So those are recommended forms of capture, in my opinion. These are the top 3 that I would use. These are the ones I swear by. I've used all of them a little, but I'd say OBS is definitely my favorite. Quality microphone. This is something that gets overlooked a lot, and it's not as expensive as you'd think. It's really, really easy to go on Amazon, pay 10 to 15 bucks and get a decent condensing microphone. It's not going to be like studio quality. You're not going to sound like Drake or Rihanna on your stream, but you're going to sound good and your audience is going to be able to understand you. Moving on from that, a second monitor is not really required, but as somebody that streams both console and PC games, it helps a lot. Because you want to be able to have your game up on one monitor, and you want to be able to be controlling your screen, interacting with chat on the other. So it really helps you balance out the stream and not get too cluttered and have to like switch back and forth inputs or tab out and do this and do that every time you want to try to interact with your chat. And then a good headset. You're going to be in the chair for a while when you stream. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 6. Maybe you're doing a marathon stream just to see how long you can go. And you're going to want a headset that's not going to get uncomfortable, you're not going to get like sweaty in. You want something that's going to be comfortable that you can be in for a while. So that's why I recommend that. The right mindset. It's really easy to start wanting to be a streamer and just go, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. It's going to be great. I'm the next Tim the Tap Man. And you have to understand that that's purely just not realistic. And what you want to do is you want to go in and you have to understand, okay, I'm a small streamer. I'm just starting. My first few streams, probably not going to have many viewers, if any. But what you have to do is you have to learn to keep pushing forward and stay in the right mindset to move on from there. You have to know your goals. You have to know what you want to accomplish as a streamer. Once again, know your schedule. I know I've said that twice, but that's because it's really important. If you put up a stream schedule, you need to do everything in your power to keep to it. Consistency is what makes a good streamer. If you have the best stream in the world and you stream once a month, you're not going to see the growth that you want to. You want to be consistent. And then know what's realistic, like I said. As much as I'd like to say all of you are going to be the next big streamer, I'm not even going to be the next big streamer unless I know what's realistic. I can grow and I can continue to grow, and as I grow, we have more options that we can move into and push our career as a streamer forward. We just have to understand what's realistic off the back here. It's not overnight. You're going to need to put in the time, you're going to need to put in the hours. Now, branding. As soon as you become a streamer, you basically become the president of your own company. You are your brand. And your brand is everything. It's how you display yourself to your audience. It's how you act on social media. It's the content you put out, whether that's just streaming or maybe you even export your streams to YouTube and you try to get a following there as well. There's a lot to do that falls into the aspects of your brand. And that also includes just basic stuff like overlays. Your overlay says a lot about you as a streamer or as an organization or whatever you're streaming. It says a lot. It's a sign of professionalism. It's a sign of attention to detail. And that shows the audience that you care about the content you're putting out. Same thing with banners, other profiles on other social media, and just your all-around image as a streamer or organization or whatever you're doing when you sit down at the end of the day to stream. These are some bad examples of overlays. This is disgusting. It's not because he's a kid. He could be a really good streamer, but he has a terrible overlay. It's not clean. It looks like he made it in paint. He's got lots of, like, these logos and stuff. Yeah, they're cool, but they're excessive. Super excessive, and they're out of place. And, like, what's going on? Like, what's this? Like, it's all around, it's gross. It's a gross overlay. Stay away from overlays like this, and definitely stay away from overlays like this.
Oh God! What?
If I see anyone streaming this, I will personally come beat you up.
Yeah, do that.
This is a good overlay, minimalistic, gets the information out there. For those of you that don't know, that's Tim the Tap Man. He's a huge streamer right now. He's growing very fast. He has a very loyal audience, and he does a great job. And this is all he has for his overlay. Sometimes little is very, very good when it comes to branding. And then this is actually a student at Full Sail. This is his stream.
He's hosting me too.
Oh, right now? But
What?
This is actually a friend of mine. He is a fantastic example when it comes to personal branding. This is what he has up as he's getting ready to start his stream. He's got his logos. This is animated. That spins, it comes in, moves out. He's got recent followers, donations. He shows, he gives back. He's very professional. He cares about his brand. He puts some serious time into making his stream look professional. And people love it. He's seeing a lot of growth right now. And the people around him are seeing a lot of growth. So that just is my example of how much branding can mean. It really, really puts off that key of professionalism. Now, getting and keeping viewers. You got to get yourself out there. Sure, you can just stream and hope they show up. They might. There are people that just browse through the low section of streams, go in, see what's going on. But you're not going to really see a ton of growth that way. You need to be active in social media. So you need to be in touch with your audience. You need to be tweeting about, oh, I'm about to stream, or this is what we're streaming tonight. Or maybe you're like, I don't know what I should stream. Let me ask what I should be streaming or playing. What do people want to see? Stuff like that. You can't be afraid to use social media. it's a decent amount of work. You have to put a decent amount of time into managing all of these social media outlets, and a really good program, it's a web software, I swear by it, it's called Crowdfire. There's a free version of it, which is really great for when you're starting out. It lets you control your Twitter, Instagram, and I think even Facebook pages. And what it does is you can go through and it'll show you who's followed you recently. It'll show you articles that are similar to your topics of interest that you can share with your audience. It'll tell you who's been following who followed you, who's unfollowed you, and all around recommend how to grow more as a channel. And I swear by it. Interacting with your chat. This is the hardest thing for a lot of streamers when they start out. They get a little shy in front of the camera and they freeze up and they just play the game. Cool, play the game, that's what they're there for, but you also need to talk with your chat. If you have people in your chat talk back to them, because your chats, when you're starting off, is not going to be 1,000,000 words a minute. It's not going to be flying to the point where you can't read it. Take the time, glance, read the chat, reply to them. Viewers love that. Like, how many people in here have been in a big stream and you said something in the chat and the streamer says your name and you're just like, oh wow, I'm special. Like, it's a great feeling. People love that. Give that back. Let people know that you're listening and you care about what's being said. Interact. Prompt questions if there's nothing going on in chat. Be like, so what do you guys think about this? Or what game should I do? Or do you guys like this skin? Or should I play this game mode? Try to chat with them. They're your audience. Interact. Stream often. Goes back to the schedule. I'm not saying you need to stream every day, but you want to stream at least once a week. And you want it to be a consistent day. Because it's like, oh, well, this week I'm streaming Monday. This week I'm streaming Friday. There's a big gap between those two streams. And it's really just going to be kind of off. Your viewers aren't really going to know what's going on. And then be a community. Your viewers are everything. Your stream is awesome. It's yours. But at the end of the day, it's nothing without the viewers. Be a community. Interact with them. They will help you grow. You will get to know the people in your community. You'll get that fan base. And it's a really cool experience when you get to start seeing people come back and you recognize names in your chat and you get to go, oh, thanks for coming back. He's a cool guy here. And eventually maybe you mod them or something. It's really cool to watch the community grow. So be strong in it. Be part of it. Now we're going to get into actually setting up your stream. So that's the end of the slides. So now we're going to get into a bit of the technical stuff. So Josh,
Go work.
get out of here.
I'm gonna go leave.
Of course you are.
All right.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up OBS. Down here you see that I have a lot of scenes set up, and that's really going to be for the tournament today. But so just to show you guys kind of how I go about setting this up, I made this new one called Test. It's a blank stream, nothing going on. You see down here that it shows that my mics are plugged in. probably won't get to that right away. But so the way you add stuff to your stream would be, say I want to do a browser source. Say I want to watch something. Or actually, hold on. That's window capture. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so say I want to capture my monitor. Every now and then it does this. I'm sorry, this is super awkward. I hate when things don't work. There we go. Okay. So now we're capturing our display over here. And that's basically the concept of how you're going to be implementing any form of capture, whether you're capturing a game or you're using an Elgato. It's going to be a similar process to that, adding it, and then what you're going to do is you're basically just going to build the rest of your overlay and stuff right on top of that. So now let's come back over here into OBS and let's add an image. So we'll just call this overlay. Top bar. So now I'm going to go into my browser and I'm just going to go to the files that I want to import into the scene. So let me just find those real quick. So as you can see, I dropped in my overlay. Pretty simple. It's just a JPEG image or a PNG image. That way it can be transparent. And now I have the option to go in and I can add in stream labels for my top donations, recent followers. I can add my webcam. I have a corner and I have a available space in the corner to where I can run slides for sponsors. And then at the top, I have some information about myself as a streamer. It's really funny, like watching it just kind of like staggeredly kaleidoscope kind of down. It's really trippy. So now, let's say I want to add video capture device. And I can add existing because I have this set up for the tournament already. But say I want to use the webcam. There we go. Alright, so now I am visible. I'm just going to drag that underneath the overlay. And now we have a webcam. So now my audience can see me, which is great. You don't necessarily need a webcam to be a streamer, but all great streamers have webcams. Correlation. People like to see who they're watching. Now this one is where it gets a little fancier. Now I'm going to add an image slideshow. This is going to be an example of, say, maybe I've got sponsors that I want to display. So what I can do here is I can add files. I'm going to go to my sponsorship files and say I want to add my sponsor Fatal Grips, and I also want to add my sponsor Catalyst Mints. All right, let's do that one. Okay, so now time to 20 seconds. I'm going to turn this way down. So I'm actually going to just for the, I know that looks terrible, but I just want to kind of show the functionality of it. So now I've got my sponsor slideshow. Okay, I'm going to turn that down. That's going to kill my eyes. All right, there we go. That's better. So now, a lot of people, a question they have when setting up streams is, well, how do you get the labels to change? How do you get text on your screen that'll update as things happen? Stuff like recent followers, recent donations, and even like alert boxes. There are a lot of websites and softwares out there that'll do that for you. I know personally, I love using Twitch alerts. They have always done a great job for me. And what it does is they have a web app that you can download to your computer, and it will allow you to choose a file output directory, and it'll drop about 30 to 40 just text documents into a folder for you, and it'll have stuff like recent followers last 30 days or donations. It's got all kinds of stream information that you can use, and since they're all just in text files, what we can do now is, let's just do this. I'm just going to make a new one for the sake of example. So say I want to make a new folder. I'm going to call it stream info. This is going to be where I keep all of my information about my stream, my files, everything. So now I've got that output directory. It exists. Now I can go to my desktop and I stream info. And now I have all of these files in here that'll allow me to go in and see who's been doing what. So say I want to go into my, where's most recent follower? And this guy right here is my most recent follower. So if I want that to be able to update and change and display actually in my scene, all I have to do is add text. We'll call this recent follow. Okay. And now this is what we're going to do. We're going to click read from file. And we're just going to open up the file. We're going to go to desktop. We're going to open up that stream info. And we're going to go to most recent follower. And there's his name. Done. Good to go. And then what's really cool about this is you can add colors. I like to do this just because it adds a little bit of a what the heck? There we go. I like doing that because it adds a bit of a gradient. The font looks a little cool. It makes it pop. So now I can drag that down here to recent followers. And now as people follow me, that'll update. Another thing that I love about this software that I use, yeah, question?
For the sake of question, the difference between session recent followers and most recent followers.
Session would mean that if you start the session and no one has followed you yet, it'll be blank. It'll be an empty file. Most recent will be just most recent, period, end of statement, even if it's from your last stream. So if I was to turn this stream on and go live right now under your boy Pride, it would pop up with him. But if I used session most recent, that would be blank until I got my first follower of the session. That actually segues me into what I was getting ready to say. They have another one that I love using. It's session follower count. And what that does is that allows you to see how many followers you've got in that session alone. So it's really cool because one, your followers get to see, wow, he's gotten 5 followers since he started. Stream's only been live for like 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. Or maybe at the end of like a marathon stream, it's like, oh, I've been streaming for like 8 hours and I've gotten 22 followers. That's pretty awesome. And it's really cool because then the community can see itself growing, you get to see it growing, and it's just a nice little stat to have up on your screen. So now I'm going to show you guys how to do that one real quick. So we're going to come in here, we're going to select text again, we're going to do follow count, we're going to read from file, session follower count. We're going to add that gradient again because why not? And then that's large number 1, and it's upside down. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to make a little room for it right here under the sponsors. And the reason it says 1 right now is because I did a short stream the other day and I got a follower, and I have not streamed again since then, so it's still saying session recent. It's showing my most recent session, so that's why it's a 1 instead of a 0 right now, just to clear that up. And then so now we've got that, and that will update as we get followers, and I'll just say follows today. And now just like that, we have a nice little way of showing our viewers how much we're growing. It's just a nice little thing to add to your stream, gives it a little bit of pizzazz. And now basically what the rest of this is for like recent donations, top donations, it's rinse and repeat for what we did on this. It's just go in, find the file, read from text, drop it in. So that's really simple, so I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on that just because we are gonna have to cut it a little bit short. So now, most of you are wondering, probably like, cool, that's great. That's how I run a stream, that's how I set up a stream. How do I actually go live? So now, what we're gonna do is, since I'm just gonna hide all of this stuff so you guys can see the webcam, you know exactly what's going on. We are going to go to our dashboard on Twitch. And what this does is this gives you a lot of different tools on what's going on in your stream. Shows you how many live viewers we have. Right now we have 6. Welcome, guys. Tells us how long we've been going, how many clips have been taken, how many followers we have as a channel, signal strengths. It has a lot of really useful information. And I recommend for anybody that wants to get serious into streaming to spend some time going through these tabs and understanding what everything does. You have tabs for editing, activity, you can get video stats. But what I wanted to show you guys is we're going to go to settings. Right here, stream key. What this is that's what you're going to put into your OBS to actually make it communicate with your stream. I'm not going to click on it right now, but what you do is you click on that stream key and it pops up and it's like, don't show this to anybody, I swear, like, this will be very bad. We can't do anything about that if someone gets this. So I'm not going to open that up right now because we're streaming it. But what you're going to do is you're going to click on that, it's going to open it up, it's going to give you this big long chunk of text, you're going to copy it, and then we're going to come into OBS. We're going to come to our settings. We're going to go to stream. You're going to pick the streaming service, Twitch, whatever server you want to stream on, and then you're going to drop that stream key we talked about right here. Or if you want to show it, you can. Like I said, I'm not going to because we are streaming, but that's how you're going to do that. Then you have some other things in here, like your general. Normally, you don't really need to do anything with that. You can affect output, like where your files are going to be going and stuff. Audio, you can go through and you can customize a lot of the finer things about your stream. Like right now, output selected, this is a little low right now. I probably want to turn that up to 980 by 1020, or 920 by 1080. I can't speak today. But, and then you can program hotkeys. One of the things that these hotkeys are really useful for, and we kind of are cheating the system today because we actually have our hands on Elgato's new Stream Deck, and we're going to be using that. For you that aren't familiar with what the Stream Deck is, it's this nifty little pad right here, and it's got these programmable buttons on it that we can program to do stuff on our stream. And basically that's what you can do in the hotkeys tab here. You're going to be able to go through, you can say show music. Okay, so maybe I have songs that I like to play when I'm not in game or when I'm between matches or something, and I can just say, okay, I want M. If I hit M, music starts playing. And okay, when do I want music to stop? Okay, well maybe stop music when I hit S for stop. it's really a strong way to make everything very seamless. Just to kind of display that real quick, I'm going to show you what it will look like once you have everything put together. You've thought about everything that you're going to want as a streamer, your scenes and everything like that. And I'm going to show you what a finished product is capable of looking like once you've just gone over and done what we've talked about just today. Like, this is not a super advanced stream to set up, but you can make it look very professional. So let's say today we're going to be casting. So this is going to be displaying our casters during the tournament. It's going to have a chat bar so we can interact. It says who we are, it says what we're doing. Just a nice little tool to kind of show what's going on. So we're going to have that and say we're going to go to the match. Okay, well now we're watching them play. Now we see what's going on. We're going to have the names of the players in the top. It says the Injustice 2 launch tournament at the bottom. Gameplay, it's sleek, it's not obstructed. And I'm doing all of this just by hitting one button. Or maybe the stream's about to start, so I want to throw that on. And you can't hear it right now because of maybe a feedback loop otherwise, but there's music playing on that loops. Or say maybe we're watching the players in the tournament today select their fighters. Just one more button and I'm to that screen watching that. And it's really seamless, and it seems complicated, but once you sit down and just attempt it, it's very simple. One of my favorite things that this does is just with the press of one button, I can switch the scene and I can start playing something. That's hidden for now though. That's something for later, so I'm not gonna let that run. But yeah, so that's the very simple way of setting up a stream, and you can do some pretty incredible things with it. Obviously, as you grow as a streamer, you can start exploring more advanced ways of doing stuff. But for now, I feel like that's a really good starting place for you guys, and that's what I've got today. Any questions? Any questions before we wrap up?
So, so will we be fine, like, basically just off our MacBook for the webcam, and then possibly the external drive, and then just stream that way, or how would you go?
You could. I'm not super familiar with MacBooks. I've always been a PC guy myself, so I'm not really sure what the specs are on them. I'd say you could try it, see if it works. I know personally, I was having some problems with my OBS on this computer, and I was streaming off of a laptop for a little bit. So I know some laptops are definitely capable of doing it. This presentation was just streamed off one because I didn't want to interfere with all of the stuff I had set up. But so I mean, it is possible. I just don't know if it'll work on a Mac.
Okay.
But I'd say it's worth a try.
What, using the program itself?
Yeah, because I know I'm gonna, like, for me, I'm gonna try and, if anything, like,
Because I have the app on my Mac.
Yeah, OBS you can download for Mac.
yeah. I just did that, like, while you were up there, so.
Mm-hmm.
It does justice. I mean, plus you get the report offline too, so it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've done actually a couple of streams that I put on YouTube with.
And the MacBook does fine?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, then there you go.
I would recommend for where to get overlays if you don't know how to make them yourself, because
I'm super glad you asked that, because I would have completely forgotten that. There is a fantastic site called it's Stream, but instead of an A in Stream, it's an X, so it's STREXM. If you Google that, it'll take you. It's like streamx.tv. Don't Google that, because you'll get to a site you don't want to be on. Learned that one the hard way. I was like, yeah, it was like StreamX something.
Alright, so it was STRE.
Yeah, I think.
Because I use OBS at home. Right now, all I have is like online. It's just like I have just two little,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
three little mini gifs, like one like a Metroid, and then other stuff down the bottom.
I'm going to pull it up here because this is a fantastic site, and I do want to show it to you guys. For those of you that aren't maybe necessarily artistically gifted, or maybe you don't have Photoshop, or you're not good with GIMP or whatever, this is the website I was talking about, and it's really cool. This is one of the programs I was talking about where it handles like your updates and notifications and stuff like that. This is a really good one when you're starting out because all you do is click that button and it will do all of it for you. So what you do is you click that and it would ask you to authorize your Twitch, give it permission to have access to all that information. So I'm not going to necessarily do that right now, but what you do is you go into our overlays and then you just have tons of overlays you can use. And as soon as, the first one is free on this website. The first overlay you get is free. And so maybe I want this one. So this one will come with, it'll have the overlay, a spot for my webcam. I can edit my tags for social media. I'll have follower notifications, donation notifications, sub alerts, stuff like that. It's just a really cool website for just being able to do a quick, easy setup. And what it's going to do is once you're done with that, it'll give you a link, like it'll give you a URL, and what you'll do is you'll go into OBS or whatever capture software you're using, and you're going to add a browser source, and say I call it overlay, and I just dropped the link right in there, and then I have everything that I need. So that's a super good efficient website of just like, I can't draw, they can.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do all this stream label crap you was talking about yet.
That's where
you don't have to. They'll do it for you. This is a very good website for managing a channel.
Yeah.
It kind of keeps everything in one place. It's really nice.
I use OBS right now, and right now I just have like two little like a Metroid GIF and something else from Super Metroid down here. I go, that's all that's on the screen right now. So.
Yeah, and what's great is like it's a browser source, so maybe you're like, okay, well that's a pretty cool overlay, but I want to add this. You can. It's just another object in your scene. Any more questions? So is that it? No more questions?
Recommendation of a mic? Recommendation.
Personally, anything that's just a condensing microphone. Anything that's a condensing microphone will sound at least half decent. The one I have, I use a Neewer, Neewer. It was like $15 and another $5 I got a stinking boom arm with it. Like fantastic deal. Fantastic. So it was like $20 I have my full mic set up and it's like a boom arm hanging over my monitors, looks super professional.
Tim said USB mics are great.
Yeah, USB mics are fantastic.
That's what I have right now, and it's all right. It's a lot of tinkering for
What kind of mic do you have?
Honestly, I don't know. I got it from a friend. It's just like a little clipping. I clip it to next to me, and I was like, you can hear me. It's fine. And then
Whatever works, right?
Yeah. Till then, it's gonna be headset with the mic on it. So.
That's what we're doing today for the Injustice stream.
Awesome. Nice. Thanks.
But yeah, any more? I'm loving it. Great questions, though. Well, thanks to all of you for coming out and seeing my workshop. I hope I was able to help educate you guys some and put you on the right path. And thanks for coming out.